Hello folks, and welcome to episode 9 of Bonfire Man. Okay, here's how Bonfire Man works. I'm locked to specific chunks in the game. I have to interact with everything in my unlocked chunks exactly once. So that means every tree needs to be chopped, every enemy needs to die, every resource needs to be consumed. When I interact with something, it is exhausted. When something is exhausted, I'm not allowed to interact with it again. I'm allowed to randomly unlock a new chunk whenever all of the entities in my current chunks have been exhausted. When I enter a new chunk, I rest at a bonfire, as in the Souls games. Resting at a bonfire unexhausts all of the content in previous chunks that I've already been to. Now I have to exhaust all entities in both the new and old chunks to continue to progress. My objective is to unlock every chunk in RuneScape eventually. All minor rules and exceptions can be found in a Google Doc that I'll link in the description of this video. Let's go ahead and get to the playthrough. Alright, so this might be the most hype episode so far. I am extremely excited because of the chunk that we unlocked. If you watched the end of the last episode, I thought I unlocked Port Sarum, but I did not because there is a wall blocking me from getting to it. And I was very sad, but fortunately the RNG gods smiled upon me and gave me Varrock, which is an absolutely amazing chunk. It represents an enormous amount of progress for this account and progression unlocks. Now you'll see the task list over here is actually pretty sparse. There's not a lot to do in that chunk directly in terms of dealing with limited resources like enemies to kill and pickpocket and trees to chop and that kind of thing. But the shops there are incredible and utterly game-changing across the board. I've just got 6 or 7 best in slot upgrades. We got a magic shop. I'm really excited to get an adamant sword so I can stop using the steel dagger. That's a wild upgrade. I'm excited to see how this affects returning to old chunks and how much it speeds them up, because I imagine it's going to be pretty significant. I'm really pumped. I might not have enough gold to be able to do all the stuff I want to do here. The adamant sword costs about 2k gold, and I do have that amount in my bank right now. The air staff is 1,000 gold-ish, so I'm hoping to get over there and sell as much crap as I can to try to be able to afford the air staff, the adamant sword, and probably a bunch of mind runes from the magic shop, so I can start actually training magic and make it so that those dark wizards are way less of a pain in the ass. I think if I get my magic even to level 10 or 20, they will be way less of a threat than they are right now. Right now I die 3 or 4 times fighting them every cycle. So anyway, let's get moving. I'm gonna head over to Varrock. We're gonna light our bonfire, and then it's gonna be like a kid in a candy store. Looking at the time plate at the bottom, we're apparently at 50 hours now. So what a fitting milestone for hour 50. We get to go to Varrock for the first time. I am impossibly pumped about this. Let's do this. All right, let's cross the fog wall. I think that went much better than previous attempts. I'm getting good at that. Okay, cool. We're in Varrock now. Let's light the bonfire to reset everything. Let's light the bonfire. There it is. Oh man, what a day. Okay, let's do our spin. We got to spin every time here in order to actually trigger everything to respawn. Spin is complete. Oh, cool. All right, let's go straight to the sword shop here. I'm going to get this adamant sword. It costs all of our money. Oh, I should add, there's a lot of other exciting things to go through. I'm going to go through the task list in a second, don't worry. But one of the things that is here is directly across from this building, there is a candle spawn. So now I can go to the lumbered swamp caves. I can also get my Slayer level up by a ton, and I'll explain why in a moment. Oh, the candle's across the street. Shoot. All right, here's the candle. We can now officially and finally do the lumbered swamp cave. I will pick up that candle once every cycle, so once I get a couple candles, it'll be a little bit easier. But I'm going to go there this cycle because I should. What is the difference? Let me turn on the max hit plugin really quick for this adamant longsword. I have a max hit of 6 right now with the steel dagger, and this adamant sword is plus 17 strength bonus, plus 15 attack bonus. Yeah, it's better. It's way better. This is an insane upgrade. So if I equip it here, we immediately get plus 1 max hit. One more strength level will get us an additional max hit. I think for the dagger we needed 5 strength levels to get to another max hit. So yeah, we're going to get that soon. So yeah, we're going to have a max hit of 8, which was the same as the Myth Battle Axe, but it's going to have an attack speed of 4 instead of 6. So this is a wild upgrade. The hits keep coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, because the natural history quiz is in this chunk. I didn't know that when I was excited about it before. I completely forgot. I thought maybe that the museum was one chunk over, but no. We can now get Slayer and Hunter to level 9, which rules. Like, it lets me do cave bugs and cave crawlers in the Lumbered Swamp Caves. It doesn't do anything for us for Hunter right now, but if I choose to Lamp Hunter in the future, starting from level 9 is like so much better than starting from level 1. The XP you get from lamps from levels like 1 through 5 is absolute ass. Okay, this is just going to take a quick minute, but I'm going to run through and do the natural history quiz. Also, I'm not sure if I can finish Shield of Arov, but I can get far enough to get the Phoenix crossbow, which is a crossbow, and it unlocks a few more NPCs for me to kill. So, but I might even be able to finish it. I'm going to try logging in with my alt later to see if I can be the other party to finish the quest. And on our last history quiz questionnaire here, I'm going to get my big old XP drop. 1,000 Slayer XP, 1,000 Hunter XP. Outstanding. Your Slayer level is now 9. Your Hunter level is now 9. Right, so Slayer level 9. Okay, I misspoke earlier. Cave Crawlers are level 10. That's the one I need the extra level for. But there are only 3 in the Lumbered Swamp Cave. So the Cave Bugs are the much more exciting one. There's 3 Cave Crawlers, or there's 21 Cave Bugs. And now I've got a candle to go down there. So we will be doing that. That's going to be rad. I want to do Shield of Arov. I think if I do the Black Arm Gang, not only do I get the Phoenix crossbows, but I can do it in my currently unlocked chunks. I think if I didn't have these specific chunks unlocked, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd have to do the other gang. But give me a second to double check to make 100% sure that's true before I side with one or the other. It looks like I can do everything except talking to King Rold at the end. So I can't actually turn in the quest, but I can do everything up to that point, which involves unlocking content. So I will go start it to get some of that content unlocked. And also, it occurs to me that I can only ever do quests once. So I'll mark it complete for now, but on future cycles, I'm just going to delete this task. And we'll do that for quests from now on. I'll add them on the cycle in which I'm able to complete them. I'll mark them green when they're done, and then on the next reset, they'll get wiped out. Yeah, this is awesome. This is only doable because I have the Champions Guild chunk unlock over here, which was otherwise kind of an underwhelming unlock. All right, so fortunately, my main account is the other gang, so I should be able to transfer the key over here. Let's give it a try. Weapon store key. Yes. Weapon store key. Beautiful. Okay. I think I have to save this key because I think I have to kill this weapon master every single cycle, but that should be fine. He's already in my Varrock South list. Getting these Phoenix crossbows, one of which I might actually use until I can make a bronze crossbow. All of the pickups are in this area. Leather boots, an iron dagger. All right, let's return with these crossbows. Oh man, this is cutting it close. This staircase is barely here. I'm actually a little worried that the thing I need to pick up is going to be... Oh no! It popped me on the other side of the chunk! I don't think I'm allowed to do this. It's technically in my chunk, but the staircase puts me in the wrong spot. I mentioned that if I'm within 1 tile, but I'm actually 2 tiles over. That's okay, though. I can't finish the quest anyway, and the main thing I wanted was the key to be able to go get the Phoenix crossbows, so I think I'm going to go back and grab another Phoenix crossbow for myself. Okay, I got my Phoenix crossbow back. I'm going to see if I can get... I might be able to get smithing high enough that it doesn't matter and I can make a bronze crossbow. Okay, so next objective then is to sell a bunch of items to the general store so that I can buy an air staff and a whole bunch of mind runes. I think this cycle it's going to be slower than my fancy new adamant sword, but I desperately need magic XP, so I think I'm going to do all of my goblin slaying with magic just to get it as far as humanly possible. Okay, everything must go. I'm going to save one of everything. Get rid of all these bronze square shields. Future Marstead here. This pains me a little bit. At the time I was doing this, Giant's Foundry hadn't been released yet, but Giant's Foundry lets you turn in bronze square shields for 1 bronze bar each, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. Yeah, this is probably going to take a little while, but I'll report back on how much money I end up getting. Oof, and the pain keeps coming. I actually didn't remember, or this never came up in my main account, but I didn't realize you could sell noted items to shops. So I totally do multiple trips here unnecessarily instead of just bringing a noted stack of items. I do figure that out eventually, but just, cringe and pain with me now. It's so refreshing just to have another bank. And this is a good bank too, because it's close to a bunch of my other unlocked chunks that I otherwise have to walk forever to get the Lumbridge. So there's also some pretty insane defensive upgrades here from Horvick, the armor shop, but it's all really expensive, so I don't think I'll be able to get those soon. All right, final count here, 2603 GP. So that's going to get me an air staff, which is the only one I'm going to buy for now. And we're going to head over to Aubrey and buy a couple packs of mind runes. And I'm going to have to track this because I am going to buy out this stock. I think this is the first shop whose stock I'm going to buy out, other than those bowls I bought from the Lumbridge General Store. All right, I'm just going to go broke buying mind rune packs here. So it's 330 coins each. And I'd like to preferably buy them at max stock, yeah. So I'll get one more. That'll be 300 mind runes. I still have a little bit of money left. Wonderful. And I'm going to make a note of that so I can still buy, I think, another 37 of those. And I can also buy the 5,000 mind runes manually. It's just going to really suck to do. So I'm going to try to work through the packs first. I'm actually curious if I'm allowed to clean dig site finds. I might need to have that door unlocked to do it. But I would add that as a daily task. I don't remember if I'm allowed to go through that gate. Can't come in here unless you've completed the dig site quest. Well, that answers that question. That does reward some lamps occasionally, and if I do it every single cycle, it might be enough lamps to make a difference for some really shitty early skills. I really just want to be able to get my shit skills up to like level 5 or 10 so that if I do ever choose to lamp them from random events, that it's not going to be garbage XP. Hey folks, I don't have a ton of time to play today, but I'm going to do a little bit in the Varrock chunk that I'm still very excited about. Let's work on slaying, and I suppose pickpocketing here as well would be nice. I don't actually know where most of these NPCs are, so I'm gonna have to learn. I assume most of them are like in the bar, because I haven't seen them anywhere here. Right, here's a woman. Oh, and Johnny the Beard's in here too. That's one of my things I have to kill. Okay, murdering Johnny the Beard here. I don't think he has any drops other than bones. Okay. And we have to kill the barbarian as well. Also don't know if she has any drops. I'll look her up real quick. Oh, she drops an iron mace. Oh, that's not as good anymore. First of all, it's not the steel mace. That's what the Black Knight dropped. And I have this adamant sword, so that's no longer super relevant. She does apparently roll a rare drop table, which is kind of surprising given what low level she is. Okay, it seems like at least a couple of the men I'm looking for are upstairs in here, which is kind of annoying. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find everybody if they're all upstairs. Once I've done this enough, I'll just have it memorized like I do for the other chunks. Gotta pet the dog every time. Good doggy. I think I found a couple of the other men. I think they actually used to wander into my earlier chunks. Oh, the imp is here. Let's do that while I can get it. For a second I thought I don't care about imps anymore, but that's not true. Port Sarum was the chunk that had pots of flour in the shop, so I still want to get a pot of flour here. Come on, big money. It's an egg. Oh, this might be the rest of my men standing around right here, actually. Oh, easy clue scroll. Al-Kharid Mine. I can do that. I'm going to need to buy a desert shirt, but I should be able to do that. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do any additional steps, but it would be nice. Like, I'm really getting screwed on clue scrolls. I've gotten like maybe 20 beginner clue scrolls and haven't been able to finish one. It's just been really bad luck, I think. Let me bring my cash, and I've got leather boots and leather gloves. Let's go. Another imp here. Please, please, please. Clay. All right, buying a desert shirt, and I guess I'll get a desert boots while I'm here. These are all pretty cheap, right? Oh, they're more expensive than I thought. Okay, then I won't get anything I don't need for now. All right, let's see what the next step is. I'm guessing I'm not going to be able to do it. Oh, no, I can do this one. Oh, man. I might actually be able to do a clue scroll. I shouldn't get excited, though. It's likely going to be 3 steps, and I won't be able to do the 3rd step, but let's go ahead and head to Varrock. All right, here's step 2. Come on, please. Ah, stabbing me in the heart. Port Sarum. Bummer. That was exciting, though. That's the first time I've ever done 2 steps on a clue scroll. Finished all of the men and women. Going for this mugger real quick. Because this chunk also unlocked a whole bunch of new content in the Lumbridge Swamp Cave. I want to go straight to the Lumbridge Swamp Cave. So I'm going to do that. We'll do everything we can down there, and then we'll continue from the Varrock East Mine. I'm going to go ahead and buy the red cape, too. I think it's the same stats as the ham cape, but then I don't have to wear ham armor. I really don't like those ham guys. Yeah, so this is a shop I don't think I have to worry too much about tracking because, again, I'm not going to be buying out the stock anytime, but I'm going to get the priest gown and the red cape, and I think that's it. There we are with the cape, looking quite nice. Definitely prefer this to the ham cape. I would take the ham cape if it was just pink. I like pink. All right, we're here. Let's go. I'm probably going to get wrecked because I am going to take the damage from things exploding. But I could probably at least get back down there and get my stuff and run away if I absolutely need to. I don't remember if this rope sticks around. I think it does. I don't think I have to bring a rope here every single time. All right, and I don't want to mess around here too much because I think there's just like a time limit on the candle, or there's a chance that it's going to blow up whenever. Future Marcid again, that's actually incorrect. There are specific tiles where you are at risk of your candle exploding. Figure that out a little bit later in a different episode, but for now I get blown up constantly. You can avoid it pretty easily if you're not able to fight the cave slimes. You can just not cross the areas where you're in danger, and you can also extinguish the candle if you notice it in time. But I've never done this content before, so this is how I found that out. So we want to kill all these cave bugs, which have cool drops. One of which is a candle lantern, so I can reduce the chance that this thing explodes from swamp gas. And I'm only able to kill these cave bugs because of Natural History Quiz giving us that increased Slayer level. Otherwise, the only thing to do in here would be to kill the big frogs, which, who cares? There's tons of big frogs upstairs. And I guess the giant frogs, which maybe I'll give a try to right now. I'm only combat level 45 and they're 99. I can't do the slimes for a while, and I'm not going to be able to do the cave crawlers for a bit, but we can definitely get a significant amount of kills in here, and I'll let you know if anything interesting drops. Ooh, the cave bugs don't always drop something, and if they don't, it won't get registered in the loot tracker, so I guess I just have to be extra careful. I've been using the loot tracker as my, like, sanity check that I did everything right. It's technically a couple places to fish down here, but oh no, I keep missing these. I gotta put a note. Yeah, I'm dead. Oops. Alright, hopefully I can get back to my candle. Oh yeah, there's a couple of places you can fish down there, but I'm nowhere near having a high enough level to be able to do it, so that won't be happening. So my concern is I have to go down there without a candle now. Can I quickly make it back to my corpse without getting brutalized by the bugs that attack you when it's dark? Okay, so I made it back to my stuff. I did take a decent amount of damage. How much was that? Yeah, I took like 10 damage going here as fast as I could. Just getting hit constantly by the little bugs, but I think this has probably been more reasonable than I expected. I thought I would get annihilated and possibly not be able to get my stuff back. Okay, so this is really exciting. Oh, fuck. Oh no, that puts out my candle too. I got 1 agility XP there for crossing this. So I can't sit here and jump over this over and over, but I can jump over it so long as it's taking me to something else that I'm doing, I think is our rule here. These are the level 99 giant frogs who will annihilate me if I fight them right now. I guess I could use the fact that it's going to take me lots of death runs to kill these giant frogs as an excuse to jump over that stepping stone a whole bunch of times to try to get some agility XP. I desperately need to get agility up. If I can just get it to like level 4 or 5, so that lamps that drop are a little bit more effective, that would be incredible. So even if it's only 1 XP per crossing. This is interesting. I must have misunderstood this from the wiki. These big frogs have different drops than the ones topside. Oh yeah, this changes things. They drop runes. And a water talisman would be cool, so I can actually go into the water altar, which won't be relevant for a long time. But yeah, the ones topside don't drop anything. These drop some coins, talismans, and runes. That cosmic rune drop would be amazing. I would be very happy to get that. Okay, so there are 2 agility shortcuts here. I don't actually have any cause to go back across that way, but I'm going to try really hard not to abuse that. I think we will end up using lots of shortcuts just because if we have them unlocked, it's convenient to have more access to things. Okay, so maybe I wasn't so wrong to be concerned about only having the 1 candle. I just took 32 damage getting back to my gravestone. Depends on how far in you die, I guess. So maybe I should be trying to die closer to the entrance so I can actually claim my stuff more quickly. Oh shit, these things poison you. Let me try to die close to the entrance. I didn't realize they could aggro you if I didn't have the appropriate Slayer level to attack them. I thought they were non-aggressive. To level 23, so when I get to 46... Oh, I'm so close to 46. Alright, dead again, but this time I hopefully can get there without taking so much damage. I'm probably going to focus on the cave bugs so I can get out of there. God, the damage from your candle blowing up is really brutal. Alright, I'm going to kill these cave goblins. I don't think I have any drops. I feel bad for fighting them because they're so cute and friendly. Alright, yeah, no drops from the cave goblins. Don't think they have anything that's particularly exciting compared to just a regular goblin topside. In fact, it might even be the exact same drop list, it looks like. Alright, I'm going to try one of these frogs. It's probably going to completely annihilate me here. Should probably throw on a prayer. Yeah, I just get it for a 9. Cool. That's pretty deep in there, so we'll see if I can make it to my stuff. Okay, shit's not going super well. I was able to make it into a pinball random while running away from dying to poison. I might actually die to poison in this minigame. I don't know how that works. I think I need to go do some other combat somewhere else so I can get to combat 46 so those cave crawlers stop aggroing me. Because it's going to be really hard for me to kill the bugs if they're constantly pulling aggro and poisoning me. So that shouldn't take too long. I think I only need to get a couple, maybe like a strength level, and I might even switch to defense just to make sure I can get it. Alright, let's see what we get from the pinball random. 5 rubies, that's pretty solid. I'd actually get to use those. Okay, yeah, I am going to finish this cave, but I think I desperately need more combat levels. I'm going to try to get out of here before I die from poison. Oh my god, that is a really nasty poison. Well, I'm not going to get out of here before I die from poison, but at least I can die really close to the entrance. Maybe? Question mark. I died reasonably close to the entrance. I'm just going to do everything in the lumbered swamp outside the cave and hopefully get some levels here. Let me look at... tells me how many I need. I only need 1 strength level to get combat 46. And then I can go back down there and not get wrecked by the crawlers. Hey, there's strength 44. I am now combat level 46 exactly. So I think I can head right back down in there and not get wrecked by the cave crawlers. My god, my candle just exploded 3 times in a row! Oh, Jesus. I think the only reason this is possible is because I have 38 hit points. If I had come in here with 20 hit points, I think it would have been impossible to get my stuff back. Ah, shit, the cave crawlers still aggro me. Do I have to be, like, slightly above? Do I have to be, like, 1 level higher? It might be that I have to be 1 level higher. Crap. Alright, well, this time when I die, I'm just gonna go to Death's office to recover stuff. So this is amusing. I can't actually get to Death's domain. I don't think I have access to any Death's domains with my current chunks unlocked. I'm not gonna make an exception for that. I can't go in there. Okay. Okay, so it's double the monster's level plus 1. Oof. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm pretty far from an additional combat level. I need like 4 attack strength levels, 4 defense hit point levels. I don't really want to try to kill the bugs in that room until those things will stop aggroing me, but I might not have a choice. I might just have to die a bunch of times trying to make it happen, you know? Oh my god. I killed a cave bug and I got a candle. We have a second candle. That helps a little bit. It makes it a little bit brighter so it's easier to see too. But now I can have one in the bank that I can pull out when I'm coming back so I'm not getting damage while I'm trying to recover my gravestone. I think we're done with cave bugs. I'm going to try to do these giant frogs. That's really all I got left here. But that's probably not going to go well if they can hit me for 9. Okay, let's try cave frog again. Giant frog. See how badly I get wrecked here. The answer to how badly I get wrecked is very... God, they have so many hit points. They have 100 HP. I don't think I've done enough damage here. No, I did like... That started from close to full health, and I did maybe not even 10% of its health, so... But I can kill the big frogs, and I can kill the cave bugs, and that's still something that I'll aspire to do each loop. Probably still gonna die a few more times, just trying to kill these big frogs. But once the big frogs are done, I'm done in here. I have died more times and spent more sweat on this just because the candles keep exploding. Like, I just had to explode 3 times in a row again from full health. Okay, I just searched the cave pretty exhaustively, and I think I did all of the frogs. Okay, I am thoroughly over the lumbered swamp cave. That was a nightmare. I'm gonna go back to clearing chunks. So let's do the East Varrock mine, and then we'll just go down the list. Healing my imp real quick on the way there. Still would really like to get a pot of flour. It's another tinderbox. Nope. I was just regretting that I forgot to deposit all my gear before coming to do this chunk. And I was like, I gotta go all the way back to Lumbridge, the bank, but I don't, because now I can get into Varrock. I still have to go the long way in. I can't go through the right side because I don't have that chunk unlocked yet, but I think I'm still probably going to turn almost all of my logs into arrow shafts right now, just because I hate banking. All right, here comes fletching 15, which is an important level because now I can fletch oak logs into arrow shafts. Okay, so I did remember to run the live split timer this time. I'm not going to have it on screen unless if it's relevant, so I'll turn it on here down in the bottom right corner there. We've been at this for about 2 hours and 16 minutes. Just got thieving 14 from the farmer that wandered out of this chunk here. Need one more level, and then we kind of, that's another like breakpoint gasm, I'll call it. If we hit 15 thieving, there's so much that opens up just from being able to pickpocket those ham members. I guess I will announce some of the skills that are harder to level, like mining. We're about to hit mining 11. And now we can use a black pickaxe if I get one from a clue scroll. After finishing up these ores, we are done with this chunk, and I'm going to head back to the Alkareed mine. Since I can bank, I might actually pop over to the Champions Guild real quick and do that chunk first. It requires the same items I'm carrying on me right now anyway. Knocking out this Champions Guild chunk real quick, and I'm thinking more, just like considering how difficult it's going to be for me to ever get a light source that's not going to blow up in my face for the Lumbridge Swamp Caves. Like, this is one of the things that I find so incredible about Chunkman, because, you know, on my main account, I think I got the Kandaren Easy Diary in the first 20 hours of play. It may not have been that early, but light sources were never a problem. It's just, yeah, I'll just grab this infinite light source that I have in my bank, no issue. You know, you do your typical Iron Man thing. You rush Wintertot, you walk out of Wintertot with a Bruma torch, and you got the same thing. So it's actually kind of cool that if I ever get access to a high enough crafting level to make a bullseye lantern, or get one from a drop or something, that cave is going to be 1,000 times less annoying. It'll still be annoying even when I have really high combat stats, because the candle exploding in your face sucks. Oh, I didn't think I was going to get mining 12 that fast. Maybe mining isn't as bad anymore now that I have 3 mines accessible. Finally got an ensouled scorpion head. Nice to have something populated in the loot tracker for these guys. Okay, as part of clearing this chunk here, I'm going to finish up the Alkareed mine. And then I think I'm going to try to make as many bronze bars as I can and try to get some smithing XP, because it would be cool to be able to get the bronze crossbow. And it might actually be possible now, I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, so I can get about 488 mining XP per cycle. That's, I mean, it's not great, but it's better than thieving. Thieving, I'm getting like 200. Maybe a little bit better now that I have an extra 7 pickpocketable NPCs in Varrock, but we're not going to like be blowing anything out of the water here. But getting to 15 mining would be cool, because then I can do iron ore, and I have a bit of iron in several of the chunks I've unlocked. That's it for the Alkareed mine, though. Since I'm here and it's really short, I'm just going to go ahead and do North Alkareed, and then I'll teleport home and we'll do some smithing. Okay, I've got 29 copper and 51 tin, so I'm not going to be getting really high in smithing here, but maybe I'll be able to get close to making the bronze crossbow. Another skill that's an absolute nightmare to train, so I will announce level ups here. Level 4 smithing. Yeah, like over 50 hours in. Cool. I'm not going to be able to use these for an extremely long time, but I would hate to be in a situation where I can't get bronze wire when I need it. Quests require this. There's a total of 7 needed in quests, so I'm going to make 7 of them just to never have to think about it again. And I think I'm going to do bronze bolts for the rest of it. There's level 5 smithing, which is bronze arrowheads, which is huge. I'm gonna do bronze arrowheads, I think, instead of the bolts. I need as much ammo as I can get for various things, and this will give me fletching XP for all those arrow shafts that I've collected. The archery shop in Varrock does not sell arrow tips, unfortunately. I think that's only the one in Catherby. All right, here comes level 6 smithing. Cool. Bronze crossbow limbs. Okay, we got there. That's good. Yeah, so I'll use that for range training until I can get up to a better bow. I just need to burn through all of the bolts that I've collected. I actually have a decent number of bolts, and every last one of them has come from just killing goblins, pretty much. I think they also drop from men. All right, there are our bronze limbs, and I think I'm going to go back. Let's see. I think that the bronze crossbow might be better than... this is a tough call. I think we're going to go with the arrow tips. The reason for the arrow tips is I get more of them, and I already have all those arrow shafts, so it represents more fletching XP. If I run out of crossbow bolts, I run out of crossbow bolts. I think I can buy the bolts directly from that new shop in Varrock, too. Obviously, it's going to run out of stock eventually, but not immediately. That's 7 smithing, bronze full helms, and bronze throwing knives. Throwing knives might be okay, I'm not sure. So I looked it up, and it turns out that the special range for completing Cook's Assistant doesn't affect potatoes. It affects a lot of low-level food, but not potatoes. So I don't think I actually have to wait to cook my potatoes now that I have Varrock unlocked. I'll do that later. We'll go to a bank in Varrock and then get everything cooked. It'll be convenient. But I'm going to make this bronze crossbow. I think my main focus is going to be on magic. I will train ranged eventually. Right now it's level 2. But I got to get magic up there so that those dark wizards don't shred me as badly. All right, here's our crossbow stock. Oh, and don't I need sinew for this? I need a hammer, okay. But I think I can make it because of the... I might be able to make it because of the bear we killed. I have to double check that. Give me 1 second. Oh, okay, you can make sinew. You don't need a bear meat specifically. You can also use raw beef. It has to be on a range, though, so next time I'm near a range, I'll make that, and we'll turn it into a crossbow string later. Let's see what's next. I guess while I'm standing here, I'll make all these bronze arrows real quick. Those are all feathers from chickens. Okay, that didn't get us very far. Halfway to 19 fletching. I'm going to head to Draenor next, because that's the next chunk on the list. Okie dokie, we are in Draenor, and I'm going to clear out this chunk. I think I'm going to start with the sewers this time. I keep forgetting that it's there until I'm done with everything else, and I'd rather just open with it here. I need to be very pumped about killing these zombies and skeletons. I still haven't gotten a good drop from them, but I could. It could happen. All right, I'm going to go do the rest of Draenor's combat. So the Black Knight, the Dark Wizards, and so on. All right, killing the Black Knight here. His drops are less exciting now, but I could still get a pot of flour from him, and I didn't. I got 58 coins, which is actually pretty good. That's a lot of coins for me. All right, so Dark Wizards, Imps, and Market Guards, and then it's time to chop a lot of trees. Oh, and I guess fish twice. Okay, here's the Imp, Draenor Village. What we get? Shears. That's a new one. All right, that's it. Time to chop trees and pick up this tomato and cheese. Wood cutting 48, and I think that's the only level we're going to get today for wood cutting. Right, grabbing my my daily vegetables, getting 2 fishing nodes. Oh, son of a bitch. I fished 2 back to back as I was trying to click off of it. After the first one took me forever to fish a single one. I will make a note to only do 1 shrimp next chunk. Whoops. I have to say, something I really like about this account is that because of the math behind it, because there's a deterministic amount of everything, mistakes like that are very correctable. Like, if I accidentally mine the wrong ore, or if I get to market or something, like I keep using the word fungible to describe them. Goblins are fungible, copper ore is fungible. It's very fixable, and I think it's fixable in a way that doesn't compromise the account as readily as it might. The Lumbridge Imp here. Only got a axe at the moment. Decided since I was just at a Draenor village to finish chopping the trees here. So that's what I'm doing. I am still generally going in reverse order of chunks, but sometimes it's easy to get in a mode, right? And I've kind of gotten to a point where chopping trees is pretty zen. I still need to get that plugin to automatically mark objects, because this adds let's see, shift. I have a mouse button dedicated to shift, so shift, right click, mark object, click, as opposed to just click. Okay, so I think I'm going to skip Varrock Southgate, since we want to do the Dark Wizards there last anyway. So I'm going to go work on Grote's farm. I'll get my barley planted and protected. I guess I'm going to go plant the barley, protect it, and then back up to another area, because again, I need to babysit the Hammerstone. I think it's not the last day that I'll be doing this. Yeah, the next cycle will be the last time, because then I'll be out of barley and I'll just do Hammerstone. think I'm going to go ahead and get magic training done. Well, not done, but I'm going to work through my 300 mind runes now that I have this beautiful air staff. Okay, I should hit level 7 farming here, which lets me do cabbages, if I ever get access to cabbages. There it is, level 7 farming. Now grow cabbages. You actually get access to a lot of different kinds of hops pretty early on, much earlier than I was expecting. I think the only kinds of hops I've ever grown, I've done barley, obviously, for quest purposes, but other than that, just Unilian hops for protecting hardwood trees. It's kind of cool to give a shit about most of these. Like, I care about literally every crop because I'm allowed to plant everything, you know? That feels really cool. All right, I'm actually going to take this bucket. I'm going to grab the bucket spawn over here. I'm going to milk the cows because that's probably the most annoying task over here. And then we'll head down and I'll start using magic to murder the goblins while I wait for this to grow. Once it finishes growing, I'll come back and replace it with the hammerstone. Killing these goblins while I wait on the barley to grow. And oh man, I forgot what it was like to take like a minute to kill a goblin while I wait to roll some 1s and 2s. It's good though. I need this XP really badly. As soon as I run out of mind runes, I might switch to ranged. I don't really need ranged XP right now, but I may as well. You know, if I'm going to do it, I should be doing it while I'm killing all these goblins. So I didn't really think about this, but now that I can get the stats so high, like I'm so used to meleeing everything in RuneScape. Remember my blind quest cape playthrough, I was really surprised to find out how often you could safe spot stuff. Like I was safe spotting that goblin there. I might, keyword might, be able to actually defeat those giant frogs in the Lumbered Swamp Cave with magic. I probably have to get my magic high enough to cast the chaos spell. Which one is that? It's Wind Bolt, level 17 magic. Yeah. So I'd also have to have a bunch of chaos runes, which are kind of expensive, and I don't really have the money to buy them right now. But that's an interesting proposition, because I could try to just safe spot them, you know, like how you do in RuneScape. Yeah, it looks like the level 99 giant frog has 1 magic as its stat and +0 magic defense. So I think that could work. It's been interesting. I haven't been considering ranged or magic as an option for anything. And for obvious reasons, I haven't had any arrows and I haven't had any runes. But both problems are solved now, so I think it might actually be feasible. It's going to depend on coins now. I think money is my big problem right now for doing lots of interesting things. So I might end up having an easier time with that as I continue to expand chunks and get more enemies that drop interesting things that I can sell. But I basically liquidated my bank today for the staff and the adamant sword, so I don't know if today is the day I'm going to be able to do any of that. Level 10 magic from level 3. That's already going to be really helpful with the Dark Wizards. I'm going to try to get it to 20. I'm just going to use all my mind runes. I don't know how far that's going to get us. I'm going to try to get it as far as possible. And there's level 39 hit points. Okay, level 26 prayer is the Hawkeye prayer. I will end up using that while training ranged. In order to make my bronze crossbow, I have to go get some sinew. Dude, I got so much run energy from training magic because I could just stand still and attack everything instead of chasing everything everywhere. It blows my mind how much run energy restoration comes from standing still and chopping a tree, or standing still and doing literally anything than running constantly to everything all the time, which is what I do. Hey, I got a beer from the Drunken Dwarf random. And a kebab, I guess, but worst random event ever. Okay, I'm here to harvest this barley and plant this hammerstone, and I'm gonna have to baby it for a little while. I'm also gonna I'm almost out of runes, so I'm going to try to make my bronze crossbow, and we'll switch to range for a little bit when I'm fighting the cows. I should double check their defenses, but I think that they're pretty low range defense. We'll see in a second. Alright, harvesting the barley. Please give me multiple pulls. Actually, if I'm able to get a level up, like if I get lucky on farming XP, which I didn't, I only got 4. If I'm able to get a level up, I think that unlocks an additional hop seed that I think I have from the Draenor Market, so there's a somewhat decent chance that I'll be able to plant a 3rd seed here. That's going to be annoying, though. I don't even know if I have enough plant cures. I guess I have 7 plant cures. I've been buying out that stock every day, as well as the compost stock. Caught an imp up here in Varrock Central. I assume this is a imp from another chunk. It sure is, and it just teleported over there. Son of a bitch. Oh well. Oh shit, you need level 10 crafting to make crossbow string. I did not know that. Can try to start burning through my wool, although this is already a concern because my plant might be dying up there. I guess I can try to watch this and then go check on it every time I see the time step tick up. Yeah, let me start working on wool then really quick. I don't think... How much wool do I have? 140 wool. I don't think that's enough to get anywhere near 10 crafting, but maybe it'll get me to a level where I can like polish buttons, or I have some like opals and jades from killing ham guards that I could maybe turn into stuff. About to find out. Looks like I can do opals right away. I can do polish buttons at level 3, and I can do candle lanterns at level 4. Although I assume that requires glass, which I do not have access to. Crafting 3, you can now polish buttons, which I have a good number of buttons. And by good number of buttons, I mean like 4 buttons from killing ham guards, but it's extra crafting XP, I gotta take it. I'm working, by the way, on keeping the XP tracker sorted so that the skill in which I have the most XP from the session is at the top. It's completely manual, but I'll try to do it if you happen to notice that plugin on the right. Alright, it's 6 buttons that I have. 5 XP each, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna get anywhere near 10, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to do the bronze crossbow, sadly. Not yet, anyway. If I can just get Al Kharid to roll, I should be able to get tons of crafting levels really fast from all of the cowhides that I've banked. But this is nice. This feels like this is justifying all those sheep that I've sheared, which is a comical number of sheep. Okay, I made it out here to check on the patch, and it looks like it's doing fine. If I'm going to be here anyway, I may as well pick full inventory of potatoes, then I'll walk back and keep working on crafting until I see that timer advance another step. Okay, I made it partway into almost to level 6 here in crafting, using up all of my wool. So yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do the bronze crossbow for a little while, unless if I get some other source of a crossbow string. Gotta go baby my hammerstone here. I'll pick another set of potatoes, and then we'll keep working on clearing the Groats Farm chunk. Oh my god, they're still not diseased. I figured I was going to get a disease every single step. Now, once I harvest those, I'll bring the next tier of seeds with me just in case I get enough XP from harvesting. This is my last farming XP for this cycle, so if I don't get the level, I can't. I don't have any other patches to weed or anything like that. Just in an effort to extract as much crafting XP as possible, I'm going to go ahead and cut these opals. Hopefully I don't crush any of them. Probably going to crush all 4 of them. I got 1. I got 2. Crushed 1. Okay, 3's not bad. Almost level 6 then. Technically I can make opal rings, but I don't have a ring mold, so won't be doing that. And I think that's literally everything I could possibly get crafting XP from. I technically could go out and shear my sheep for today. I guess I'll do that. I have to do that anyway as part of the chunk, so maybe I'll make whatever wool I get from that into balls of wool. I think that'll just barely squeeze me into level 6 crafting, which lets you make gold necklaces. But I need gold bars, and the only gold... I have 1 gold bar from doing the random event. I probably need to save that for something more interesting than a generic gold bar. It's only worth like 20 crafting XP, it looks like, yeah. Yeah, so the short version is we desperately need to get the Al Kharid chunk unlocked. In the meantime, I can get crafting XP, but it is going to be a challenge, I think. Hey, and now it got diseased. Okay, I'm glad I've been babysitting it. It would be so devastating to lose a patch in this mode. It might be less devastating in the future, but I'm probably, if I want to do any of this kind of farming, I think this is going to have to be my approach indefinitely, just babying it as much as possible. It's going to be tough for some of the longer patches, like tree patches, if I'm not able to protect them for whatever reason. I think that makes it all the more important that I am very vigilant in picking up item spawns and doing everything I can to save anything that might pay for protection in the future. Just hit 16 magic. I only announce it because it's probably the furthest I'll be able to go with my mind runes, which is too bad because 17 is Wind Bolt. Probably going to stick to Wind Strike for a really long time until I buy out all of Aubrey's mind rune stock, which It's going to take a long time. It's actually kind of nice in this case because, you know, something like Wind Strike is not amazing for magic XP and it falls off pretty fast, especially if you're fighting higher level enemies. But like the fact that I'm going to have to kill these 3 HP chickens and many 5 HP goblins, I think makes it quite a bit better. So other ways in which this mode is cool, constantly dealing with low level enemies means training low level skills like this feels like less of a pain, if that makes sense. Okay, the Hammerstone's ready to harvest. I'm going to see if I get lucky. Oh, son of a... Ah, god damn it. I stored my tools in the bank. I'll be back. I'm gonna go walk back to Lumbridge. Okay, take 2. I went ahead and used my teleport, but it still sucked to walk all the way back here. Come on. Come on. Hey, level 8 farming. You can now grow Asgardian hops, which I brought with me here. That's cool. Use my last bucket of compost. I'm not going to be able to... This is not sustainable because I can only get 4 buckets of compost per day and I have to spend 3 protecting the barley. Now I'm going to finish the rest of this chunk. Hey, it's Rick Turpentine. Thank you. 160 coins. I will take that. Got a bird nest with a ring in it, and it looks like it's... Oh, it's a sapphire ring. Okay. I think I actually can enchant that. I don't need a recoil ring for anything. The ring we really want, we want to get ruby rings so we can make rings of forging for when we can do iron, so we can smith it without losing any of it. Like my Asgardian hops are ready. I may have missed a growth cycle, so I really hope they didn't die during that. I checked the penultimate growth cycle. About to find out. Oh, thank God, they survived. Okay, let's get some more farming XP here then. Spade, thank you. And that'll be it for farming for me today, but we did a lot of farming. I was able to use this patch 3 times. And plant 2 kinds of hop seeds I've never planted before. That was pretty good. I got 6 of these. Probably going to want to brew as many of these as possible once I get access to a brewing tub. Okay, I know I normally do the Dark Wizards last, but I want to see if my 16 magic makes them more tolerable, so I'm going to try to fight them now without food. And immediately take 4 damage. Oh yeah, now I'm hearing that wonderful splashing noise that I wasn't really hearing before. 6 damage, oh my god. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do this without food yet, but just killing a level 7s now who I don't think can really hit me. Speaking of food, since I'm here in Varrock, I might try to cook all those potatoes if I can find the range that's closest to the bank up here. I think it's this range down here. So it's a short walk. Yeah, I should be able to make all my, cook everything with that. This is my first time actually, like, cooking traditionally, just filling an inventory, cooking, and banking. So I'm actually going to have a stock of food now. I've been very paycheck to paycheck on baked potatoes. I just bring as many as I can whenever I go fight Dark Wizards, and then I end up eating all of them. So it'll be nice to have this as an option going forward. So many different skills today. This XP tracker is kind of nuts. So I'm going to try to cook everything that I know isn't affected by the Cook's Assistant range, but that might just be potatoes, actually, from among the food that I currently have. Oh my god, cooking is actually kind of AFK. But only because I have hundreds of potatoes banked that I haven't cooked yet, so... It's wild how much I'm enjoying this playthrough despite having nothing to do that's AFK. Everything is insanely attentive. I've basically made attention mode, which is kind of comical given that I made an entire video essay on why I think this game is amazing because you don't have to pay attention to it. This is great. I can actually like do some work while I'm cooking these potatoes here. Probably start announcing cooking levels. Well, I'll still do every 5. There's level 20 cooking. Nettle tea. Yeah, there we go. Looks like 23 cooking lets me make scrambled egg and tomato, so it helps that I'm collecting those tomatoes. I'm going to hold on to the tomatoes for now, though. I don't know that it's worth making those. Maybe if I get like a boss fight that needs a ton of healing or something. Okay, I'm done making all those potatoes. I have almost 300 of them. I'm going to bring a chunk of them to finish off the Dark Wizards. I don't think I need to save the Dark Wizards quite as much anymore now that I can trivially bank and get food. I can just leave if they start to kick my ass and come up here and bank and heal and then go back and keep fighting them. Whereas before I got warped back to Lumbridge and had to come all the way back here. 45 strength. Okay, finished off all of the Dark Wizards. I didn't have to eat very much food this time, so I think the Magic 16 definitely was helping a bit there. Got my last imp here. This is imp number 7 for this cycle. We gonna get it? Nope, ball of wool. Okay, so I think I need to change my strategy a little bit on leveling attack versus strength. I think the rule should be I try to keep attack within 7 levels of strength. However, if switching off aggressive causes me to lose a max hit, I should stay on aggressive until it no longer causes me to lose a max hit. And at that point, I can swap to attack. I think that makes sense. That way I'm still keeping attack caught up, but I'm not slowing things down by using the attack style. All right, current project, I'm going to go ahead and do Lumbridge Swamp West, which I started a little bit earlier when I needed to get my attack up. Yeah, so I have to finish killing the frogs, but I did all the trees and I picked up all of the swamp tar already. Getting close to the end here, I gotta do that, and then the ham hideout outdoors, and then indoors, and then Lumbridge, and then it's time to roll a new chunk. I guess I should show you how long this has taken. There's the live split timer. 7 hours, 39 minutes. A good chunk of that was just dying repeatedly in the Lumbridge Swamp Cave. But yeah, it's taken time. I mentioned at the beginning of the playthrough that this was intended to be like a less extreme alternative to Extreme One Chunk Man, but it's still pretty extreme. I think something that I like about this as opposed to like Limpwort's playthrough is that because of the nature of the playthrough, I'm always going to have new content to share with you. I can probably do an episode every time I get a new chunk. And sure, getting a new chunk might start to take 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. But I'm not going to suddenly get walled by a grind that's going to take me 10 months, like Limpwort and the Calphite Queen, right? Just because of the mechanics of the mode. So I think this might be one of the most stable restrictions. Like, it's still a really interesting restriction and it's really hard, but every restricted account I've ever watched gets insanely slowed down the further it goes, right? Or when it encounters some arbitrary grinds that it needs to bypass, like with the Swamp-Bloodic server for whatever. So I think, for me at least, a big advantage is that I'm resilient to those kinds of like extreme slowdowns, because I'm not grinding necessarily. I'm just clearing what I'm able to clear, and that takes usually a fixed amount of time. I can kind of like optimize it a little bit, try to go through the chunks in an order that makes sense, or try to do all the wood cutting at once, or do all the combat at once, or whatever. If you see a red square around a chunk, that means it's not done. If there is no red square, that means it is done. So as you can see, we're down to just the ham hideout. I gotta go kill the guards down in there, and I'm saving Lumbridge for last. I think I completely forgot that the ham hood was an item when I was like keeping track of which ham items I got. I just got my first ever hood. So yeah, I needed that too, in addition to another cape and 2 necklaces. The Pillory Guard random event here. We got 640 coins. That's pretty solid. Man, so many of these random events are actually really good. I don't think they're very good on even a normal iron account for the most part, if you can go anywhere, but if you're region restricted in any way, I understand why these are all exciting, except for the Drunken Dwarf. And I guess some of the cosmetics only ones like the Frog Queen or whatever. Yeah, 640 coins is like, that's like 200 Wind Strike casts. Search the basement of the West Varrock Bank. So close. I'd love to get West Varrock as my next chunk. Although I think North Varrock is actually probably my new most wanted, next to maybe Alcarid. Just because then I can train construction. I could do Daddy's Home and maybe do a Mahogany Homes contract, depending on where it sends me. Okay, the ham guards are done. Do the rest of this here, so we'll mark that complete. That complete. Now it's just time for Lumbridge, so almost there. We're up to 8 hours. So hopefully I'll finish short of 8:30. Not gonna be able to enjoy this for a very long time, but I got 3 Ranor weeds from men and women here, basically back to back. It's pretty cool. Alright, so those all been slain, they've all been stolen from, so now it's just trees, and then we're done. Whew, okay, I think that's everything. Looks like I got all the trees. I'll do a quick pass. Oh, there's a couple more. Of course, I forgot the ones right in the castle. Let me hit those. I always do a quick sanity check at the end to make sure I got everything. Okay, now I'm actually done. I did a quick pass around. Looks like I got everything. Let's go summarize and then roll a new chunk. Look at that, almost exactly 8.5 hours. which an hour and a half was the Leopard Swamp Cave. I like using the live split timer now, even if I don't have it displayed all the time, just because it'll help me to compare my times. Like, if we come in under 8.5 on the next roll, even though we're going to have a new chunk to work with, that tells me that I did things significantly better, right? Okay, folks, let's summarize what's going on here. Lumbridge Castle, everything I can't do the U or the trout. I don't care about the critters. The cellar, I picked the stuff up down there. The ham hideout, I can't do the U. I don't really care about those items anymore. There's like one air rune there. Ham guards, all dead. The swamp, I can't do any mining or the water altar, but I did everything else. Swamp cave, I killed 11 big frogs down there, 21 cave bugs, and 4 cave goblins. I don't have enough slayer to do the cave crawler or the slimes. The giant frogs are not happening. I might try them if I get enough magic. If I have a bunch of mind runes, I might see if I can safe spot them, but at least right now they're a little bit too hard, especially with how much damage I take in there from my candles exploding. Can't do rock sleds or wall beasts, and I can't fish for frog spawn yet. With the agility stepping stone, again, I can cross it both ways once, and that's the minimum that I should do, but I can also cross it more than that if I actually am going somewhere, like to try to fight the giant frogs or what have you. Groat's Farm, I did everything. I still can't get into this cow pen because I have to roll the chunk next to it. North Al-Kharid. These trees are actually done. Let me just go, since they're not marked here, let me go confirm that real quick. Okay, yeah, I think I just forgot to mark them done. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees have been chopped, so. This is why we do the sanity check at the end. I guess while I walk back, I can continue to give you a summary here. Varrock Southgate, I can't steal from the guards. I can't chop the U. I don't really care about the gathering tasks. I can't do anything in Puro Puro right now. Can't do the duel. Well, there's nothing in the duel arena. Champions Guild is done. Recall that I guess I did definitely farm this bush patch because I have the weeds to show for it. But I can't mine iron or silver. I can't do the stepping stones, and basically everything else is on the other side of the river. Can't do the Sourhog Cave. South Draenor. Can't do anything involving thieving. Draenor Sewers, I did everything. Al-Kharid Mine, I can't mine any of these, but I got everything else. East Varrock Mine, I can't mine iron. I didn't gather the Kadava or the red berries this time, and I kind of don't care enough to want to go all the way out there to get them. And then Varrock Square, I was actually able to do everything in Varrock Square. Yes? Hold on, I need to figure out if this means that I'm not done with Varrock because there's quests to do there. Okay. Yeah, it's a little tricky. I think this might be a situation. I mentioned that since a quest is complete, it doesn't need to show up on future task lists, but I think I should put incomplete quests on the list just so that we know when the chunk is actually done. Yeah, okay, so Bone Voyage, Demon Slayer, Romeo and Juliet all start in this chunk, so those would have to be done for me to consider Varrock to be complete. Do I also need to do stuff in the museum? I think so. I think I have to clean the finds in the museum. Okay, so this is how we'll do this from now on. I don't want to have quests listed in every single chunk right now because it's just going to clog up the list and they're all going to be red and I'm not going to be able to flip them, and the list is already pretty cluttered as it is. But what I'll do is once I complete everything else in a chunk except the quests, then I will add the quests to the list and we'll leave them in red until we're able to clear them. Also, I'm going to go ahead and call cleaning finds a minigame, which means I can go in there and clean all the finds once or whatever, fill up my inventory one time, and do that once per cycle. And we'll just mark that complete once I actually complete the dig site and can do that. So those are the only quests there. I think that means we are done for today, but we're not done with Varrock Square, so I still have to chop all the trees in future chunks. All right, next up, let's look through the current session data here. Got 360 kills. The number of things we're having to kill per session is getting pretty high here. I'm just going to scroll through this slowly so you can see everything. And we'll look in the bank to see which of these are completely brand new items. Right, and then in the bank proper, I have a ton of new items today. Today was crazy in terms of that. So there's the Phoenix crossbow, which I might actually end up using, since I can't make the bronze crossbow for some time. There's the weapon store key that I need to kill some of the enemies in South Varrock, so I can't ever lose that. I'm going to go ahead and make this the key tab. Key and junks, basically. Candles, about time. I got one of those candles from a drop. The other one's from Varrock, so I'll be able to get a third candle next session. Staff of Air is a pretty big deal. Desert Shirt, Adamant Sword changes everything, of course. Priest Gown is pretty nice. Prayer bonus. 5 rubies, some snape grass. Where did I get that snape grass from? A cave bug. Okay, they drop secondaries. That makes sense. I'm glad we're doing this. Red cape. Sold scorpion head. I made these bronze wires for the distant future when we get to the quest associated. I made some bronze arrow tips, but I already used all of them, but I'll go ahead and keep the placeholder for now, and the headless arrows. Bronze crossbow. Unfortunately, I need to be able to make this sinew into crossbow string, which is going to require level 10. Polish buttons, a kebab, an iron mace, 3 opals, crushed gem that I should probably just throw out, Asgarnian hops. I have to return that spade. Burnt potatoes, which I'll probably dump later. Hammerstone hops. A ham hood is pretty cool. And the sapphire ring, which I'll be able to turn into a ring of recoil. I think I could do that right now if I wanted to, but I'm going to hold on to my 2 cosmic runes for now. Okay, and that's our bank. Let's look at each tab. We've got 1,200 coins right now. I might be able to shore that up a bit by selling some things, but a lot of that is money from random events. Runes tab isn't looking too hot, to be honest. We do have a lot of water, earth, and body runes, which I think are what are required for a couple of these spells, like, what's it, Confuse? Yeah. I need to figure out if there's like an optimal thing to cast to just turn those into XP. So I don't have any other reason to use body runes other than to generate XP. So food tab, we're up to 73 nettles. I will probably start using those nettles once I have enough bowls. Equipment tab, tools, ore. I did get a few copper ores extra today, but I haven't actually smithed it yet. This is our herb tab, which is actually looking pretty nice. I'll be excited to unlock herb lore a year from now. We'll call this the prayer tab, I suppose, / bones, and then junk. I'm really excited to do Imp Catcher. It's just a stupid quest. Alright, so that's the bank. We showed you the loot tracker. Showed you the clock. Just to remind you, we did about 8.5 hours to do all of that. Oh yeah, I was going to do a clue scroll tally. Left myself a note about that. So to do that, I'm going to use this loot logger. I use this separate from the, native loot tracker from Runelight because this stores everything locally, so it never gets deleted under any circumstances. Yeah, so I can see my total kills for things here. Like, I've killed 837 goblins. And I've been using this every session to, do a sanity check to make sure that my kill counts are matching what I should have from that spreadsheet I showed you earlier. I don't want to show that spreadsheet every episode because it's slow and probably pretty boring if you just trust me, but I do want to show it occasionally just to kind of prove that this is all kosher. This isn't clue scroll related, but I thought you might like to see the imp kill log since they have interesting drops. Still no pot of flour. We've gotten a pot, and we've gotten grain, and we've gotten bread dough. We're not at drop rate yet, though. It's 1 in 64, so we're not quite dry. I think it'll be 2 more episodes before we're dry. I think the Ham Guard tab is also interesting. 208 kills so far. This is everything we've got from that. Okay, I made it to the whole list. Final count is 18 beginner clue scrolls. Or wait, no, 19. 19 beginner clue scrolls. And 9 easy clue scrolls, all of which I've had to throw out, which is a super bummer. I think that's... I don't know the actual chance to complete on my chunks, but I think even the chance to do one that's just in Lumbridge from a beginner clue scroll is reasonably high because there's a number of steps that are in Lumbridge only and a decent chance that your clue is going to be a single step clue. But every clue that I've ever done has been at least a 2-step clue so far, which has just kind of been bad luck on my part. All right, that was the clue summary. Let's look at XP, and I think I have this roughly sorted by the amount of XP that I got. Yeah. All right, so woodcutting, 14k. We're still going to get 1 level per episode, but we're not going to get more than 1 from this point forward, I don't think. Maybe next one. I don't know how much is from 49 to 50. Strength 45, hit points 39. Cooking is an interesting one because I actually did some grinding with cooking today because I had all those potatoes in my bank That left us with 280 baked potatoes. Magic was effectively grinding, although I used that for killing goblins in Lumbridge. That's how I spent all those bind runes that we bought from Aubrey. 2079 fletching XP was just from fletching all the random logs I was chopping in order to save inventory space. I probably need to pick a stopping point for that at some point because I have 11,025 arrow shafts, and currently my only access to feathers is from killing those chickens. So I'm not going to meet 11,000 arrow shafts anytime soon. I probably have to start burning logs for fire making XP or go back to like banking all of the logs, but banking them is terrible. So if anything, next episode I might switch to burning them. Prayer, getting close to 27. Mining 12. We actually get about 500 mining XP per day, so we should hit level 15 pretty soon. That lets us get iron, which is going to be a big deal. Smithing is very slow. This is not the max XP we can get per day. It's quite a bit lower than that. I might actually want to start to figure out the max XP per day. I don't necessarily do all my processing tasks every cycle. It depends on how I'm feeling. I kind of like banking them up so that I can do multiple trips. That's actually, I should say, that's something I really like about this playthrough so far, and something that might guide more of my rule adjustment discussions, that a lot of this is deterministic. Like, we know how many kills I can get. We know theoretically how much XP I can get from cycle to cycle. The only thing that's variable is RNG drops from enemies, and that's what is so interesting about this mode, I think, is it completely shakes everything up. Exciting drops can change everything, like that stupid pot of flour that I still haven't gotten. Back to the list here. I switched to attack for a little bit, but I want to wait to switch to attack until I won't lose a max hit from doing so. Crafting was my first time actually focus leveling crafting to try to make the crossbow string, and we are nowhere near being able to do that. I desperately need to unlock Alkareed for crafting. Today was a really good day for farming. I got my Asgardian hops, my Hammerstone hops, and my barley. Okay, so this is probably the one I'm most excited about in reviewing the XP here. We're really close to 15 thieving. We're going to get it next episode, even just in Lumbridge, which means I can finally pickpocket the ham members in the ham hideout that I've had unlocked for... How long have we been playing now? 58 hours. So this is a big deal. The stuff we can pickpocket from them is pretty interesting. I think it generally mirrors the drop table of the ham guards, but is weighted a little bit differently. We're more likely to get clue scrolls, for example. And it's also a huge increase in daily thieving XP. They give way more XP each than any of the men or women or the farmers that I'm pickpocketing currently. And there are tons of them in there. Yeah, there's 10. So that's a lot. So I should also get 20 not too long after getting 15, and I can pickpocket the men in there as well. That'll give us a total of 26 that are pickpocketable, which would be phenomenal. Like, this is what I live for. These sorts of breakpoints, playing this game for 50 plus hours and 12 chunks, doing things over and over and very, very slowly creeping up thieving XP only to pass a breakpoint where now things get way easier and more interesting. That's why I like RuneScape, and so this mode is perfect for enabling that kind of a exciting breakpoint. All right, so agility XP. I failed every time I tried to use one of those shortcuts, so I only got 1 XP every time I attempted to use it. This means I did it a total of 7 times, so the minimum is 4. The other 3 times were attempting to cross one I'd already crossed before to fight giant frogs. So I just want to keep an eye on this. Like, I want it to be clear that I'm only getting XP from shortcuts because I'm actually using them, and I wasn't like sitting at the stone and jumping back and forth. If I didn't have that restriction, I would go jumping back and forth at that thing so bad right now. I would jump back and forth on the Lumbridge Swamp Cave stone probably for 50 hours just to be able to get enough XP to be able to go do the Drainer course when we unlock it. I really need agility. It's really bad. Fishing is only the XP we got from the shrimps, and remember I made a mistake and accidentally caught an extra one, so I will make up for that next cycle. I'll only interact with one of them. And then, of course, the Hunter and Slayer XP was from Natural History Quiz, so those are very cool. Here are the current total levels. Looking pretty great, I think. Getting close to total level 400. I don't think I care about total level until 1000 is when I can lock this character to always be an iron, but I would never de-iron. I'll do it when I get to 1000 just to do it, but it's not really something I'm worried about. 1250 would be some new total level worlds, which could be useful. I don't know. Okay, let's roll a chunk. Okay, everybody, here's the chunk picker. Let's review. So now that we got Varrock, that was my #1 most wanted chunk. I think that Al-Kharid is now my most wanted chunk, just because I can do crafting there. There's a bunch of stuff I can buy. I can get I don't know if the Mithril Scimitar is better than the Adamant Sword. It might not be. But crafting XP would be really cool, and this place connects to several other interesting areas. So if I can get crafting XP, I think that unlocks a lot of stuff for us long term. If not Al-Kharid, though, more Varrock would be good. I would take West Varrock. And I guess I'm not super excited about West Varrock now that I'm looking at it closely. There's a bunch of clue steps here. I think I dropped like 3 clues today that were in this chunk. I guess it's pretty much just the bank, isn't it? All right, maybe not so much West Varrock, but if we get it, that gets us closer to Barbarian Village and Edgeville and stuff, so I wouldn't say it's a bad thing necessarily. North Varrock is more exciting. We can unlock construction. We can turn in a quest with King Rold. There's a couple other quests. I think there's a bunch of quests we can start there, too. Not able to do them. Get a tree patch so I could get another merchant to buy compost from, that sort of a thing. This would not be great. I guess I get to steal from a tea stall, but it's a single stall, and I can't do it repeatedly. It gets us closer to the lumber yard, so if I got this, I wouldn't be mad. It would just be a dull chunk, because it would just be going back and repeating stuff we've done. The exam center I really badly don't want. This is one of the worst chunks on the board right now. The dig site requires 10 agility, no. 10 herb lore, no. And 25 thieving, So, yeah, no. Exam center is still a nightmare chunk. Please don't roll that one. Mage training arena would kind of suck. I still would like to get this one. This one, as much as I want the flower from it, and as certain as I am that I'm going to get the flower there and then immediately kill an imp and get the flower drop, I think just having the connection here would be nice. I've had these 3 for such a long time, and not this one. And it blocks me. It makes it kind of annoying to do the sheep, because I have to wait for them to walk out of the chunk here. And here there's a ton of cows and chickens that I'm currently missing that are in that pen there. So yeah, this would be a pretty good one. I put that up there with Al-Kharid and North Varrock. North Draenor, I think, is actually pretty high. It's boring by itself. Like, there's, other than being able to start Portion of Interest, I can't actually do anything here if it rolls. Like, all I can basically do is chop a ton of trees. There's a lot of trees here, aren't there? How many? 61 trees. Jesus Christ. But the reason I want this chunk is, 1, for the Draenor course for us to do eventually, and 2, to be able to unlock the Falador farm, which would let us actually finish Portion of Interest, get us closer to Falador, which has a bunch of interesting stuff, and most importantly, get us close to Port Sarim. Wizard's Tower isn't very exciting, but it would be more exciting because we have the ability to do Imp Catcher. This chunk would be fine. I'll take some more mining and fishing opportunities. This was the Hill Giants, which isn't very exciting, but, you know, it's not the worst one. It's better than the exam center. So let's go ahead and roll a chunk here. Drum roll. Okay, can roll with that. It's the swamp south of Lumbridge. Let's review what's over here, shall we? So there's another 15 big frogs, another 17 regular frogs, another 3 giant frogs. This will be nice. Like, those giant frogs and those rats keep crossing this boundary, and it makes it really hard for me to, like, do my counts appropriately to know that I killed everything. Or, well, I will kill everything, but I can't track down the ones that specifically spawn here because they also like to walk over the boundary. So I'm happy about that part of it. These are all annoying to kill because none of them have interesting drops, but we'll do it. There's a cooking tutor, mining tutor, fishing net spawn, 5 copper rocks. That's important. It's a big deal. Okay, the tree situation. I always get worried about trees, but there's not too many. There's like 14 trees to deal with. I can live with that. 5 fishing spots, so that's good. That takes us from a total of 2 fishing spots to 7. So big upgrade there. 5 tin rocks. So, okay, there's just as many tin rocks as there are copper rocks. That's good. I guess there's technically a range down here. Now, this shortcut, give me a second to research that shortcut because I don't think I've ever used it before. That shortcut requires level 66 agility, so yeah, no, that's not happening. Let's go ahead and remove that as a rollable chunk. Yo, Future Marsted again real quick. I didn't do enough research when I found this shortcut because that shortcut doesn't give any agility XP. And if it doesn't give XP, then it's not an exhaustible thing. So it shouldn't count against chunk completion, but I didn't even notice that it didn't give XP. I assumed it would. In fact, there are 2 shortcuts in that chunk. Neither of them give XP, even the one that uses a Mithril Grapple, which was really surprising to me. So neither of these technically should count. I should be able to clear this chunk once I'm able to do everything in it. But I go ahead and I clear it for several episodes after that. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, I think we've reviewed everything that's in that chunk. Now I want to look at quests. I think I can do all of Mistalin Mystery from here. Activity info, quests. Yeah, so we can actually, we're finally going to do a quest. After all this time, we can do Mistalin Mystery from scratch. And I think it gives crafting XP. I wonder if it's enough for us to be able to make the crossbow next episode. It is 600 crafting XP, which is pretty good. Yeah, I just did the math over here. That's going to put us just shy of level 10 crafting. It'll put us at 1093, and we need 1154. Yeah, so like another 60 crafting XP. I might actually be able to hit that from buttons and wool. So that's cool. We'll be able to make our crossbow next episode, and I can start using that for training. That remains the only quest we can do, though. We can start a whole bunch of quests. Those are the ones in yellow, but we can't actually finish any of the rest of these, sadly. So, all right. Not the most exciting chunk, but also not a bad chunk, so I'm pleased with it. This episode ran really long. Have a good time, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode where we go to the East Lumbridge Swamp and do our first ever quest. That one's actually quite hype. Catch you later. Bye.